you will find that it helps a lot more if you go through and properly light up all of your areas, if you go through and basically do everything you can to clean up the lag from everything, just everything. The reason why that helps is specifically because it allows you to verify that the bottleneck is in fact at the appropriate location. If the bottleneck is not at, how many items are you processing, that will tell you. If it is, however, then what's going to happen is nothing. It's going to remain just as bad. Some might think that that's a bad thing. However, it's not entirely a bad thing, because that also means that, well, now all you have to do is just swap out the furnace with a smoker or a blast furnace, or just build more furnaces if neither of those are an option. And that will cause you to very easily, gather up all of your various materials, all of your various resources, and just easily, deal with the situation. Excuse me. This is an issue that I need to figure out how to deal with. Part of the floor being missing. It's kind of annoying. Which is why I immediately dug all the way over here, because I wanted to be able to process all of this material very easily. However, it's kind of difficult to process it very easily when everything's just kind of going everywhere. Polished andesite. Yep. Polished diorite. Or no, that's polished granite. Polished diorite's the white stuff. Yeah, things aren't always filled in. Noted. Where was I? Yeah, it's good to be able to process all of the materials that you find as fast as you find them. However, that's also not exactly going to always be an available option. Sometimes it's going to be a little bit more difficult to process everything, because perhaps you find yourself in a very confined space, or perhaps you're finding yourself digging over some sort of hazard, stuff like that. And that's understandable. However, I do enjoy knowing that as I continue to excavate, everything that I'm digging out is going to be very safe for me to, excavate. Yeah, I can go ahead and dig that out, sure. There we go. The reason why I built up this massive roof before I started actually digging up here was specifically because I knew that as I continued to dig, I would need to do something about the lighting situation, in addition to doing something about the flooring situation. The floor is a bit of a problem because I need the floor to exist in order to rapidly excavate like this. I additionally need the floor to exist in order to, be able to rapidly travel between different areas of my mine. You know, obviously, if my mine has no floor, it's going to be very difficult for me to travel to, for example, the area way off in the distance that is to my north, where I originally found diamonds. That is one example of where having a perfectly viable mine is actually preferable to pretty much anything that is going to seemingly help me. I want to build this from the ground up, but at the same time, I want to make sure that I have enough materials in order to build this from the ground up, which is why I'm building it here, because I need a little bit more resources, and then once I have a little bit more resources, I will need to go out to pretty much like 100 blocks in that direction for a width of 400. It's going to be a very, very massive build. Go ahead and dig this out as well. Because technically speaking, all of this needs to be filled in with smooth stone. If I wanted to, I could theoretically turn on the X-ray texture pack in order to allow me to see if I manage to uncover any nests of silverfish. That's pretty much the only thing that I would really need to worry about, is just silverfish. I don't really need to worry about too much else, because everything else is, well, I have a plus 11 iron sword that has fire aspect 2. I can light them on fire. And on top of that, I'm dealing 5.5 hearts of damage per swing. Pretty much any enemy in vanilla Minecraft will not be able to withstand 2 hits from this sword. The heck was that about? Okay, weird. My character was moving in a slightly irregular manner there. It was weird. There is emeralds over there. I am well aware of that. I'm also well aware of the fact that my pickaxe is on the verge of breaking. I don't want to lose the pickaxe. However, I do not have the lapis required in order to enchant another one, which means I really don't want to lose the pickaxe. That was weird. I need to pay close attention to this pickaxe as I continue excavating. I plan to have my pickaxe last until the end of the excavation. However, I don't think that's going to be an option based on what I'm seeing here. It might last. Looks like it might last. However, after this excavation, I will definitely want to collect any ores. No, so much for collecting ores. I might fortune the ores. Over, that pickaxe needs repairs. Ooh, lapis. Yes, perfect timing. Okay. Now we've got some lapis again. Full stack already. Any other lapis in here? Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay, let's fill in that section with just regular stone then. Oh, well, I suppose I actually want to excavate further, because I need to excavate out this entire ceiling. However, I additionally need a few other things. I need to lock the hoppers there. I need to go deposit this stone into here. Then I need to go over here. Make sure, yeah, I haven't gotten any of that. Oh, 2 stacks of lapis. Okay, it's even more than I thought I had. I want to go ahead and break down these iron, because I need to find out how much iron I have. Not too much. I need to deposit some lapis in there. I do want to use some of the iron, which I have stored. You know what? I'll just take all 3 iron out. That works for me. I want to polish the andesite, polish the granite. Oh, over a full stack of polished granite. Nice. I want to break down these iron in order to build a pickaxe for repairs. Speaking of which, I want to repair my pickaxe. Okay, I've got that. Let me go ahead and grab some smooth stone out of here. Yeah, you can see what I mean. I'm level 39. I'll go ahead and deposit the extra stone, pull 1 smooth stone out. Now I'm level 41. That's not normal. I'm pretty sure that's going to get patched as soon as I update the game, which is why I have not updated the game yet. I quite enjoy being able to just freely enchant as many items as I please. I enjoy being able to rapidly, safely, and securely go through and just, retrieve any type of enchantment that I want, because I'm able to secure vast quantities of experience. Oh, that is a lot of granite. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of granite. Oof. Yep. Okay. This is going to be interesting. Crafting all the polished granite. Polishing all the granite, polishing more granite. All the granite got polished. Polished andesite. Deposit all the polished granite, as well as the raw granite. Oh, I can deposit the smooth stone, polished. Oh, that's probably the discrepancy. Yep, that would do it. Okay. Yep. There we go. These are now nice and balanced. I can go ahead and let that flow again, because what else am I going to do with it? Let me go ahead and deposit that. Go over here, deposit this cobblestone into here. I do actually have a way to dispose of more cobblestone. However, I probably should process the stone first. Seeing as I kind of have a lot of stone to process. Let me deposit that, and then deposit those. Now I'm just going to craft a bunch more pickaxes, because I don't want my pickaxes to die on me. I need more sticks. There we go. Now I can craft 2 more pickaxes. And that should hold me over for quite a while. Yeah, that should help me excavate pretty much all of the area that I need to excavate. If I need to excavate more, well, I'll just craft more pickaxes, I guess. That's not what I clicked. Let me retrieve that. Place that down over here. Therefore, I can quickly and easily gather all 1 emeralds from it. That wasn't exactly the most lucky of harvests, but whatever. Wasn't there iron around here somewhere? I think there was. I might have gathered the rest of it from below, which is why I'm not seeing it anywhere around here. Let me go over to the other side, because if I do it from this side, there's a good chance I'll just keep digging through this wall on my right. Over from this side, I can just face this way and do this. And this allows me to just dig out all of this section up here without needing to worry about going down or falling or anything like that. Instead, I can just very easily go through 1 line at a time, similar to a old school scanline TV or something, and just go through 1 line at a time, clearing out all of the different materials that are in the way. The granite on the roof here is built out, the polished granite on the roof, which is what I'm standing upon, is built out decently far, I could actually dig this tunnel quite a bit deeper. However, I don't think I need to yet. I am digging decently far in for what I actually need. Let me see. Can I get away with 2? I can. Goody. Now I can just go through, dig out these 2, and that'll allow me to easily and rapidly, deposit basically a large quantity of the resources which I have now excavated from the layer above where I'm digging. Because all of that layer is all cleaned up, I can now go through and just gather all of the stuff on this floor very easily. As you can see, I grab pretty much everything. Now I can go over here. If I slowly approach this, I can easily map out a way to gather all of these materials, or excavate all of these materials at least, without needing to worry about, am I going to break through to the wall on the other side? I don't need to worry about that because I already measured it out. I can't swing that far because I slowly carved my way in. I didn't, just start digging haphazardly, as it's called. Instead, I was able to focus my efforts, and that allowed me to very easily go out here and collect all of these materials. Now I can go out here and collect these materials, and if I really want to get cheeky, I can actually build a little temporary bridge to each of these little lanterns here, and that will allow me to very easily make sure that I have collected all of the resources from this area before I drop down and collect all of the resources from the floor here, which is a lot of resources, mostly stone. It's mostly just stone. Speaking of resources, one thing I did manage to do was I did pull up chunk base to try looking stuff up. I just didn't ever actually get around to it because I didn't remember where specifically my base was located. I just vaguely remembered I was located somewhere around, somewhere around the 0Z coordinate. And that allowed me to very easily map out a large portion of area, which basically revealed to me that there were a lot of slime chunks pretty much everywhere at the moment. I don't really need to worry about finding slimes because they're everywhere, I looked up slime chunks, but at the same time, do I really need to look up slime chunks with the amount of slimes that I'm getting? I have like 4 stacks of slimes, and yet I'm fresh out of quartz and actually have needed to visit the Nether for quite a while. Like, some people consider using the chunk base website as a form of cheating. I personally don't really see the point either way, because you still have to sit there and figure out, okay, well, if that's the coordinate, where am I? Where am I in relation to this coordinate? And that's kind of the reason why I don't think chunk base is technically cheating. Some people would disagree. That's fine. I don't mind that those people disagree. It's their opinion. Opinions are opinionated. It's like AM radio. Pretty much anyone can broadcast on AM radio as long as they follow the proper channel frequency guidelines. You don't want to accidentally broadcast, for example, on an emergency line. You don't want to broadcast on the lines which a CB trucker would use. You got to familiarize yourself with your various frequencies. But eventually, it's pretty easy to figure out all of that stuff, and then you can just very easily broadcast pretty much anything you want, because pretty much anyone can broadcast on AM radio. Deposit that stuff. I need to withdraw. Oh, I guess I don't need to withdraw that one. I might need to withdraw those. Let me check. Yeah, it looks like I did. Okay, now I deposit that, and then I withdraw a bunch of polished granite. I also want to craft more blocks of redstone. I also want to craft more blocks of coal. I want to deposit the excess quantities of redstone dust, the excess quantities of coal, and the emerald as well. Okay. Now I get to get started on carving out the roof. I probably should go find some way to get some food soon. I am aware that I have plenty of food up at the surface, seeing as I actually have a full stack of salmon and cod and pufferfish as well, although I can't eat the pufferfish. But I have a full thing, like a full stack of salmon up there. I have a full stack of cod up there. The reason why I haven't cooked them is specifically because I was actually reserving those fish for if I manage to find an ocelot. Ocelots do not eat cooked salmon or cooked cod. They only eat raw. Therefore, if you want to befriend a pet ocelot, you will need to, at the very least, go out and hunt some fish. Otherwise, you'll need to do some fishing. I'm decent at both. I have a really nice fishing rod. It does not yet have mending, but that can be fixed with just a bit of fishing. I'm currently, however, more interested in the fact that I am very close to running out of materials such as lapis, coal, and iron. For some reason, I have a very, very massive drain on specifically those resources, as well as diamond, but that's just because diamond tools, diamond armor, that's kind of expected. Ow. I was not aware they could jump all the way up here. Rude. I shall deal with that properly. There we go. now he can't jump all the way up here. Some people say the suit makes the man. Some people say the man makes the suit. I say the thread makes the suit. I'm a bit of an oddball. I'm a bit of a pragmatist. But, you know, let's be honest. If it weren't for the material of the suit, then the man wouldn't be able to make the suit. If it weren't for the material of the suit, the man wouldn't be able to wear the suit, because the suit wouldn't really exist. It wouldn't be a suit. It would be something else. It would be like a shirt or something. Or it might be like a skirt, or I don't know. Fashion's not really my thing. You know, I just kind of wear whatever looks good. A lot of people are surprised at how well that works. It's like, why do you always look so good? And it's like, I don't know. I got dressed in the dark. And they're like, wait, literally? I'm like, yeah, man, I woke up at like 4 a.m. Because if I didn't, then I'd have missed the bus. You know, it takes me forever to get a shower in. Especially when I'm sleepy. You know, what'd you expect? Yeah, I woke up at 4 a.m. and then I got dressed in the dark. They're like, wow, you look this good and you got dressed in the dark. It's like, yeah. You know? They were like, well, did your dad pick out your outfit for you? And I was like, no, I picked out my outfit. My dad was sleeping. You know? Of course, that was years and years ago, like decades ago. That was back when I was still in school, which has not really been a factor for me for quite many multiples of years. I actually dropped out of school when I was 10, going on 11, because of psychological issues, specifically relating to the Children's Services program, which was operating in my region, deciding that it was apparently, for some reason, a good idea to kidnap me, following every definition of the word kidnapping in the process. I looked it up, I Googled it. They followed the dictionary definition of the word kidnapping. They took me away from my home. They prevented me from going home when I tried to leave. They lied to me to get me to come with. They managed to convince the cops that, you know, I belonged with them and not with my father, who was actually in the middle of a legal battle over my custody, as well as over how well he was taking care of me. They were in the process of doing a legal battle over me, and no one had informed me of any of this. It wasn't until much, much later, like months had passed, before I figured out what was going on. And the only reason I figured out what was going on is because my dad came and visited me in the psych ward of a hospital after I had run away from the children's home that they tried to put me in. And they tried to force me to take all of these different drugs, and they were like, oh, well, if you don't take them, then we'll just hold you down and inject you with them. And I said, well, what happens if I continue to resist while you're injecting me with the needle. And they said, well, the needle might break. And I said, could you live with that? And they just looked at me like, are you serious, kid? You would knowingly break off a needle inside your arm just because you don't want to take all of these various drugs that we're injecting you with? It's like, yeah, I would, you know. But ultimately, I decided that, that's too much work. I could resist. I could sit there and I could just basically sit there and be a nightmare child to them. But I opted not to because it was too much work. I could have easily done it, though. It wouldn't have really been all that difficult for me. Possibly would have actually gotten let go sooner. Or just transferred sooner. Possibly just transferred sooner. I kind of bounced around in the children's services system for a little while. That is how you mine out a block from next to lava, folks. In the words of Q, one of the things that is very important to know, I'm paraphrasing Q in this, but it's always important to have an escape plan. If you're going to mine next to lava, you had better hope that you have some form of escape plan, because the moment you mine out the block next to lava, you're going to find out that lava, well, can move. Lava can move. And when lava does move, it has a tendency to move and just burn anything in its way. And that's why you got to be careful of lava. Shrug. I shall replace these with polished diorite. That way, I at least have some way of accessing that area with some bit of stability. I do actually need to travel up to the surface in order to retrieve some food now, because I am reaching the point where my character is no longer able to run. My character cannot run currently. I need roughly 4 stacks of stone here, because I need to refill that stack, I need to refill that stack, and then I have to come over to this furnace and do the same thing over here. And I guess I only needed 3. Even still, that's a lot of stone. Then I need to come over here, deposit this cobblestone, which I excavated, or recovered, technically in this case. Come over here, craft that block of slime, deposit the slime. I need to travel to the surface. Oops, where did I close? Oh, I accidentally closed that one all the way at the top. Yeah. On my way down, you will notice that there is a stop in one of the areas where I am capable of seeing a lantern as I dive. The reason why that lantern is there, if you're new here, is because that is where a spider spawner is. Yeah, I need to grab a lot of food. One of the best food sources in the game. Barely did a thing for me. And now I can go over here. I mean, it did a lot, the pork chops. Don't get me wrong, like, it did do a lot. Being able to be fully satiated with only 2 pork chops is actually decent. But at the same time, you know, there's only so much it can do. I'm just going through, harvesting all of this kelp, because I want it to grow lots and lots more kelp. And the only way to really do that is to just continue harvesting whenever it gets tall enough. Whatever you consider to be tall enough is kind of relative to whatever your needs are, as far as how much kelp you actually go through. For example, if you don't go through much kelp because you're not using it for very much, then, you know, A, great, good for you. However, if you're growing, for example, for the achievement where you survive on kelp for a certain period of time, then that's going to get made pretty difficult by the fact that you're just going to be sitting there eating constantly, because kelp offers nothing in the way of saturation for your hunger, meaning once you drop all the way to, you know, hungry, there's really nothing that is going to stop you from being hungry again. There's nothing that's going to prevent you from being hungry. And that's because, well, kelp offers no saturation. If kelp did offer saturation, then you wouldn't need to worry as much. For example, currently, I need to worry about phantoms because I've been underground for so long. I also need to worry about that Enderman picking up stuff. Hi, Enderman. I don't like you. Yeah, go ahead. Teleport right to my location. Let's see how well that works for you. While you're nice and distracted, Mr. Enderman, I'm going to finish collecting all of this kelp. That Enderman's around here somewhere. I know it. Yep, there he is. Called it. I also need to be careful of phantoms. I know you're around here somewhere, Enderman. This chunk is not loading in. There we go. Yeah, that was a graphical issue that Minecraft, that Mojang had said that they fixed. Clearly, Mojang didn't completely fix it, as with just a little bit of lag, it is possible to have light not crossing chunk borders again. That was a previous bug that was on Bedrock Edition, and I think at one point was also on Java Edition. I'm not sure about that. But it was a bug that was on Bedrock Edition a long time ago. And Mojang said they fixed it. They said they fixed it. However, quite obviously, they did not. Now, let's see if this is a thunderstorm or if this is a rainstorm. The easy way to tell is to look at the lightning rod and see if it starts to spark. If it does start to spark, stand back a little bit, because there's a good chance that you might end up getting struck by lightning. Let me make sure. Yep, it is in fact under the rain here. This does not appear to be a thunderstorm. Therefore, the lightning will not strike the lightning rod while we're standing here watching it, because this is not a lightning storm. This is a rainstorm. There's a difference. If this was a lightning storm, then we would be expecting the lightning rod to spark a little. We would be expecting the pistons to fire off more frequently. However, as you can see, the pistons were manually fired by me, but we weren't really expecting them to fire at all. We did get a lot of kelp that time. We are expecting 3 more. Oh, I guess we got a little bit extra. Are we good? I think we're good. Oh, no, guess not. Well, I mean, it's a stack now, so I'll go ahead and retrieve the stack. But my guess is what happened was some of the materials ended up stuck up in this section. Therefore, if we just go through, we can select all of the odd-numbered kelp, and that will allow us to very easily just create one remainder, because we split an odd number into 2 stacks, and you can't split an odd number evenly. It will try and split it evenly, but because there's an odd number, it doesn't split. Therefore, it leaves the remainder in the stack where you were originally pulling from. Okay. Now, in the process of all of that, I managed to lose track of the Enderman. On top of that, I managed to grow a lot of kelp. When I say I managed to grow a lot of kelp, you might not believe me, because I just harvested this. However, if I go through, I actually harvest what little amount there is here. Oops, let me grab some of that kelp, because I accidentally messed up growth pattern here. If I actually harvest this kelp here, in order to, show you exactly how much kelp I actually did grow in the short amount of time that has passed, you will very easily see that I did actually grow a lot of kelp, despite the fact that it has been such a short amount of time. There's just a lot of kelp here, and because it works on random tick updates, just the fact that there is so many of them is more than enough to generate just large quantities of kelp. As you can see, there is plenty of kelp. The benefits of a kelp farm is that the kelp will be able to be automatically collected. I won't have to go constantly swimming to collect it in a kelp farm, which is why I built that kelp farm over there. Yeah, just in the short time that elapsed, I grew over a stack of kelp, with more to follow, because as you can see, I'm getting plants that are already 3 tall here, which is 2 kelp, with 1 left over for growing more kelp. Kelp farms are very profitable, very easy. With enough work, they can actually be very, very simple. Mostly it's just flowing water streams and whatnot. It's very similar to a tree farm in that regards. The easiest tree farm mostly is made of, the most basic of tree farms is mostly made of just flowing water. That's it, just flowing water. That's all it takes. That being said, now that I have, gone through... Oh, that was the spider spawner right there, actually. Now that I've gone through all of that, I can go over here. Let's see. If I dig out up here, I should be able... Yep. Just broke right through. Okay. That's good news, because that means that if I want to quickly access over here, I can just wander on over. On top of that, it's safe. Let me go over here, climb back up to here to make sure that I actually got all of the materials. Yep, looks like I did. That's good. Yeah, if I wanted to, I could very easily just install some form of rudimentary flooring here, where I just go through and just stand on the basic stand-in flooring, as it were, and just mine out all of the area up above this area in order to have access to the area up above. However, instead, I'm going to actually properly decorate this, because I'm going to want to immediately turn around and actually utilize this area as a part of my storage system, because I need a bunch of storage barrels for stone, I need a bunch of storage barrels for gravel, I'm going to need some storage for basalt, I'm going to need some storage for all of the 1.8 stones, which is andesite, diorite, and granite. I want to make sure that I have an appropriate amount of storage for all of the materials, because I'm going to be going through a lot of materials. As you can see before me, there is just stone all over the ground. There's some granite on the ground. There's, I believe, some andesite mixed in. I don't think there's andesite mixed in, actually. Not into this batch. But sometimes there is. Sometimes there's diorite mixed in. It really does vary from mining session to mining session, but in general, you'll find that you kind of want to have a decent amount of storage in order to make sure that when you go to deposit all of your materials, that you can actually store all of your materials. You don't want to run out of storage as you're trying to deposit, for example, your diamonds. That would be, you'd possibly get laughed at for that one. Because, you can't even deposit your diamonds? What kind of storage system you got there? Apparently not a good enough one, because you can't deposit diamonds. I can deposit diamonds because I have a good enough storage system. My storage system is mostly just bulk storage, but it's good enough. Barely. It's barely good enough. I can deposit all of this slime because my storage system is good enough. I can deposit all of my lapis because, again, my storage system is good enough. Therefore, as I continue to harvest up all of these materials, I will continue to expand my base. I'm digging out all of these materials, I'm gathering up all of the resources, I'm making sure that silverfish aren't going to swoop in behind me and just chew away at the entirety of my base. Instead, I'm making sure that my base is well protected, it's well fortified, it's not going to have issues with monsters. I make sure that it's well spawn-proofed, because, again, I don't want a bunch of monsters showing up. I know that that can be difficult for some people to believe or some people to understand. However, those people probably have not played very much Minecraft. That's why I try to make sure that I